to increase our graduation rate. Our children that have been in the virtual space, we have a failure rate right now at 49% in our Flex Academy. We said that's not acceptable. So we have to make changes in order to get something new. You've got to do something new. And so we as a board made a collective decision to face change, to implement change, and that's really why we're here today. Our goal is to keep and to retain good teachers. And many of our teachers have been plagued with overwork, with health issues, and feeling as if they can't find their place. And we want to send a message to our teachers that you are needed, that you are valuable, and that you mean something to our children. We wanted to send a message to our bus drivers that you're a valuable part of our school district. Many of our bus drivers have been plagued with financial problems, so we needed to make change to deal with some of those challenges. And so today is that day. As many of you know, we have schools that are in challenges with their facilities. And we came to make a change so that we can deal with the challenges in our facilities. And so you've been hearing about just one school, but unfortunately we have over 135 buildings, and all of those buildings require attention. And we came and implemented change because we're getting ready to do some work in our schools, and we're going to take care of those things to allow our children to come to school in a safe environment, and an environment that provides a quality education. So it's a great day in DeKalb, and it's great because it's all about the children. This is not a political thing. This is about a humanity thing. And humanity is about our next generation. As CEO Thurman said, our children are suffering out here for lack of employment opportunities, and our school wants to address that. That's why we have the exciting announcement of our new superintendent, Dr. Vasanne Tinsley. And so I'm excited that she's here with us. I wish other board members could have been here, but we're standing in their stead. And the announcement is, we're ready to work. We may have heels on, but we're rolling up our sleeves and we're getting to work. Our plans are to visit schools. We're going to go out and walk the properties and assess the needs, and then we're going to commit to meet the needs. So stay around, because you're going to hear some good things coming out of the change. Change is hard, but change is good, and that's what we're saying today.
Mrs. Turner, before we hear from Dr. Tinsley, we all got a statement from the former superintendent saying she was blindsided, didn't see this coming, really wasn't allowed to say anything. What's your response to that?
Well, you do know when you're dealing with personnel, that is a very tricky kind of thing. It is confidential. I'll say this, our superintendent served us, and then we saw the need for change. And when it was time and it was appropriate to provide that opportunity to make the change, we did it. And we hope that she doesn't walk away with hurt feelings. We hope that she walks away with a sense that she served until it was finished, and then we ushered her out into her future. We wish her the very best in her endeavors, but it's time for us to move the needles. As you all know, we've been plagued by a lot of negative press, and it was time to either make the adjustment, do something different, do something substantive, get out here and see what it is, and not be afraid to run into the lion's den. That's what it looks like, but we're not afraid. We're going in. Now, will everybody agree with us? No, but that's okay. We're doing it with the heart for our children, for our generations that are coming behind us, for your babies and your grandchildren.
Now, Mrs. Turner, you said some people might not agree with you, but some other board members tell us they weren't even given a chance. They weren't let in on this plan. They didn't know it was happening ahead of time. And certainly when that announcement came out, it seemed like this was something that you had all talked about beforehand. So can you speak to that? Some board members feeling like they didn't even know this was going on?
What I will say is that our board is fully aware of what challenges we were dealing with. Now, they may say they were surprised by the actual moment, but they were not surprised by the challenges that we have been dealing with as a school district. There were no surprises because our board member has been fully apprised of the challenges at North Druid Hills, at Druid Hills High School, at McNair High School. Their board members knew that it was incumbent upon us to make some changes so that we could meet the needs of our students. So I respect their feelings, but there were no surprises about the challenges that we continue to face every day as we chart the path for better for our children.
And why was Ms. Watson-Harris specifically terminated? How did she fall short to what you all are trying to accomplish moving forward?
Out of respect for Ms. Watson-Harris, I will say this. When you bring a leader in, you set goals and expectations. And she came in the midst of a pandemic and the most serious time to come. But the demands of what happened, we didn't meet those right away. And when I say demands, when our children were thrust into virtual learning that we weren't prepared for, it demanded that a leader come up to a higher level. And when I say a leader, I'm not just talking about someone that shows up for a press conference. I'm not talking about someone that just shows up for meetings, but I'm talking about boots on the ground. And the challenges that we have dealt with in our school district were being ignored in some ways. We just decided maybe this is the best time to part ways and move on, wishing them the best and also expecting the best from the change.
And she's alluded to legal challenges that she's going to bring to the district. You already had to settle a very expensive lawsuit with a former superintendent candidate. Can you speak to that amount of money that's being spent right now to find a top leader in the district?
Well, you know what? I don't know what she has alluded to because I have not read that. But I'm certainly she's within her right to do whatever she feels she needs to do. Now, it is within our right to protect our most precious asset, and that's those students. There will be challenges that come with decisions that will be made, but the focus has to remain on the children. And that's why we're here today, to make a statement unified that the focus is our children.
And obviously with your...
If you will, let me bring Dr. Tinsley. We took her away from her vacation and she said yes to us instead of going away. And so I want to say this. I've known Dr. Tinsley for quite some years since I've been on the board. And what I've noticed about her is the integrity. What I've known about her is there is a genuine love for children and a desire to work. There's a desire, and we need worker bees. This is a time that there's no falling back in difficult days, but we're pressing forward. And I respect this woman tremendously because we brought her back out of retirement, and she said yes because she loves DeKalb County School District. And I am so proud that she's willing to co-labor. See, this is why I'm holding her hand, because this hand means we are co-laboring together. We're not in friction with one another, but we are united over the cause of our children. So without further ado, I want to introduce Dr. Vasanne Tinsley.
Thank you very much, Madam Board Chair, members of the board that are here today. I am just thrilled. I am excited. I am happy to be back home. I have spent over 25 years in DeKalb County in various capacities, and one of the things that I know is that the involvement with the community, making sure that our students' needs are met, making sure the mental health needs, the psychosocial needs, all of those things will help us to move towards that increased graduation rate. I do believe that it's important that we have a cohesive unit. So one of my areas of focus, I actually started out already, is making sure that everybody knows that I'm here to work with them. This is not a separatist thing. I am here to make sure that they are supported and they have what they need.
You're coming in under quite the microscope, not only because of the news we just got yesterday, but because all of these schools, dozens of them, need work.
Yes.
And, you know, a lot of people are going to be expecting a lot from you. How are you going to tackle that?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. One of the things that we will be doing is taking a thorough assessment. We're going to start from the ground floor. We're going to look at what's out there and what needs to be done. And we know that there are a lot of big things out there, but there are some smaller things as well. So we're going to take an analysis and determine how we best do that, come up with a plan of action, and then we're going to go from there.
Would it be a forensic audit?
To the approximately $500 million that the state is implying is there for DeKalb County schools to spend for these improvements?
So what I can tell you, this is day one. So what I can tell you is I have research to do, but I will let you know that if there are funds out there that can be utilized to make sure that we address these issues, we will make sure that that's done.
And there's been a lot of criticism over how this has been handled by the NAACP and by some state senators, just questioning, is this good for our kids? And that there has been a lot of turnover, I'm sure in DeKalb with the superintendent. So can you speak to kind of, how does this affect the kids with you coming in towards the end of the year? And, what kind of stability will you be able to offer them as you step into this role?
Well, I would like to think, and you're right, change is always difficult. But what I would like to think is that we're at a nice time in the year. This is the end of the school year. So what we need to do is make sure that we get to the finish line with the students that we have for this school year, and then begin building for the upcoming school year as well. Again, remember, this is an interim placement for me. So I am looking to do the best things that we can do while I'm here with DeKalb during this time.
Dr. Tinsley, when did the conversations with you begin about coming back to the district and stepping into this role, and what hesitations did you have, if any?
Well, let me tell you, I have been retired. So let me tell you that the hesitation was I now have to get up, I now have to put on clothing, and I now have to report daily. But I'll tell you something that was not a hesitation. It's the children, working for the children of DeKalb. It's not a secret that I've remained connected to DeKalb even through my retirement. And so I've always kind of been on the periphery of what's going on and just trying to see what we can do to help. We've been working with the community and some of the community partners. So that was not the hesitation piece, but I will tell you, thinking about waking up early in the morning, that was something I said, I'm not quite so sure. But I'm here, I'm ready, boots on the ground. As far as the conversation start, wow. We started talking about this maybe first of the week. Yeah, it has not been a long period of time. I will tell you that.
This Monday?
It's been first of this week. So it's not been anything that's been a month out, 2 months, or anything of that sort. That's just kind of how it's happened. It's been whirlwind. So I know that the public looks at it and says, wow, this happened quite fast, but believe me, it happened really fast for me. But again, like I said, that's not an obstacle. We're gonna work through that, we're gonna push through it, and we're here to get the work done. It's all about the students.
Think about pushing this question.
We got two more questions.
Okay, did you have any hesitation or trepidation, let's say trepidation, with the spotlight that's currently being shown on the district?
Well, I think anybody would say, I don't know if I actually want to go into this, right? But I think more important for me is hoping that I can make some change and hoping that I can bring some good. Again, wanting to make sure that we do what's best for our students, our staff, our parents, and our community. DeKalb deserves that.
And as interim,
Last question, guys. Last question.
do you have a timeline at all as far as how long you'll be in this role? Again, I know you have had a few days to process this, but a timeline to where you know how much stability you'll be able to offer, or even how much you'll be able to get done in your time in this.
Well, so that's a loaded question. What I will tell you is I'm here for the challenge. I will tell you that. And I'm here as long as I need to be here in the interim capacity to make things work for the students and staff and the community of DeKalb. A specific timeline, no, I don't have that. But again, that's part of the interim piece, right?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
So much.
Oh,
Yeah,
you state my
I don't know
name.
if we have the spelling either.
Okay,
correct?
yes, and I will do that. So I am Dr. Vasanne Tinsley, VASANNE TINSLEY.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
If you need to fact check Donald_Porter at DeKalbSchoolsGA.org.
I've got
Okay.
cards. I've got cards.
There you go.
It's like Halloween
He's got
around
cards.
here.
Donald made himself known.
Thank you.